yeah. Welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show. Happy Friday, y'all. Today's topic, we'll be talking about local SEO ranking factors with our very special guest, Darren Shaw of White Spark. Be sure to say hi in the live chat and let me know where you're watching from. This is going to be a good one, guys. Don't forget to visit our sponsor, hrefs.com/AWT. We're just waiting for Darren to come in the back room. We got about 7 more minutes to go. Oh, I see someone popping in. Today's topic, we'll be talking about local SEO ranking factors with a very special guest, Darren Shaw of White Spark. Be sure to visit our sponsor, hrefs.com/AWT. Don't be shy, guys. I see a few of you in the live chat. Stefan, my man. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Darren, can you hear me? I could see something coming in through your feed. Kobe, what's up, Darren and Dre? Darren, I see you now. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. Let me see. Yeah, you're not muted here.
I bet you can now.
Yes, I can. Welcome.
All set.
All right, so I got 5 more minutes for the countdown to go on, and then I do about a little show introduction, show clips in the beginning, and then about 5 to 8 minutes after, I'll introduce you in.
All right.
Cool. So you can just engage with anyone in the chat, or just have a drink, or whatever you want to do.
Cool.
All right.
Find this chat.
All right, guys. Happy Friday, y'all. We got about 5 more minutes to go. Today we'll be talking about local SEO ranking factors with our special guest, Darren Shaw of White Spark. Don't be shy, guys. Let's see a few of you out there. Where are y'all watching from? How's the weather? What are you drinking? Coffee, cocktail, water? Let me know. Today we'll be talking about local SEO ranking factors with a very special guest, Darren Shaw of White Spark. Oh yeah, don't forget to visit our sponsor, hrefs.com/AWT. We see Darren in the live chat. What's up, Darren? Bradley Burney. Yee yee. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. We got about 3.5 more minutes to go. Just letting everyone trickle in. Today's topics, we'll be talking about local SEO ranking factors with our very special guest, Darren Shaw of White Spark. Be shy, guys. I see even more of you out there. Let me know where you're from. a little quiet today. Too hot? Too cold? Let me know. Today's topics, we'll be talking about local SEO ranking factors with a very special guest today, Darren Shaw of White Spark. And our sponsor today is ahrefs.com/AWT. All right, guys, we got less than 1 minute to go. I'm going to go ahead and start getting things ready here and start lowering the music. Darren Shaw put a question out there for you. Question for the chat peeps. What's the #1 local search ranking factor? Put your answers in the live chat right now while I get things ready. Oh yeah, less than 30 seconds to go. Who's ready?
Time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show where SEO is alive and fun. My name's Paul Andre De Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released in the past week into about 1 minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and my guest this week is the founder of White Spark, Darren Shaw. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Luther, Anastasia, Nubia, Ernesto, Hannah, Colby, Stefan, Darren, Bradley, and Stefan again. Welcome everyone. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
This is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Why did Tiger Woods start studying SEO? To get his #1 ranking back.
Google gives us a quick rundown on image SEO. Let's check it out.
What if I went and just changed all of the images on our site to have a different file name to be more descriptive, or I don't know, like to put more words there too, like in addition to the alt text?
We do recommend doing something with the file names in our image guidelines. So like having descriptive file names is good, but I don't think you would see a significant change if you already do the other things around images, like the alt text, the text surrounding the image. Those are really, really strong signals. And the file name itself is often, it's kind of like from a technical point of view, this is what we called it, but it doesn't provide any real unique information usually. Of course, if you don't do the alt text, or if you don't have good surrounding text, then of course the file name might be the only place where you mention what this image is about. But if you do the rest, then usually the file names are okay.
Do you know what helps with keyword-rich file naming? Video SEO. YouTube extracts the file name and metadata when you upload videos and has helped rank many videos for me on YouTube. Okay, Adam Enfroy shares his top 15 SEO tips on his channel this past week. Let's check out 7 and 8.
SEO tip number 7 is to engage users longer. So pogo sticking is when a Google user clicks on your site and then bounces or pogo sticks back to another search result. So when this happens too often, Google assumes your site doesn't have the best answer, isn't ending the search journey, and the users are looking for other sites and it'll downrank you. So how do you keep users engaged longer? Well, you make your content scannable by using lots of bullets, subheadings, break up the text blocks, and you master search intent to give readers exactly what they want. With the new helpful content update, it's all about really user signals and giving users exactly what they want. Number 8 is updating old content. So if you've got a ton of blog posts that don't get traffic, they aren't your best work, or they don't really match your branding or messaging anymore, you can update them. So you can do this in a few ways. You can update the design, you can change your content, change the text, update your keyword targeting a little bit, add more external links to authority sites. You can organize your content better into sections to make, different steps easier to follow. You can write a new title, new meta description. Ultimately, you need to update your content. You can use Surfer SEO to do this. You can create a content updating schedule because in different niches, sometimes content needs to be updated regularly or it'll slowly trickle down the search rankings. So keep your content fresh.
Adam is pulling over 400K a month with his blog. Is not mainly known for his SEO, but what are your thoughts to bring him on? Please leave your comments below in the live chat. Okay, let's take a look at what's next here. Let's see. Eric Shu shares with us how we can get more organic traffic running CTR tests. Let's check this one out.
Fourth point, which is click-through rate test, where basically you go into Google Search Console, look for your pages that have a high impression count but a low click-through rate, so Google's actually showing those pages. That just means your headline and your meta description aren't doing the best job, so you can go in there and make adjustments.
All right, I've been working on my ad copywriting skills to write better titles and descriptions to increase my CTR on Google and on YouTube. I feel like adding this skill of writing ad copy will set you apart from other SEOs, so check it out. Speaking of tests, SEO Testing Demystified was a topic of the SEO Fight Club this week. Let's check this one out.
If you really want to understand, Google and free yourself up a lot, rank a Lorem Ipsum page. I love doing this sort of thing with people, and you can do it. You can do it with a YouTube video. You can do it, a lot of different things. If you want to understand how Google actually processes a page and its content, you'll do this. So when Google comes out with things like, the helpful content update, those of us that test view that differently. What is good content for SEO looks a whole lot different than it does in the discussions about what good content is. Lorem Ipsum pages can rank, random alpha pages, gibberish pages can rank and rank well. That's telling you something about how the algorithm processes pages. Now, Ted reminded me to put the Surgeon General's warning on this. Kyle Roof did this for rhinoplasty plano. It got out in the public forum. Google decided to not just take down that thing, but they came after him personally. So if you're going to do this and you're going to make it public, put it on a site you can afford to lose and away from all your other stuff.
Check out the complete video where they actually share several test results for you to implement or test yourself. Okay, Sam O shows us how to use Google Ads to earn links to link big pages. Let's check this one out.
The next link building tactic is to use Google Ads to earn links to link bait pages. Now, this tactic is based on the theory of the vicious cycle of SEO. This is when people search for a query in Google and read the #1 result. And because that first result is getting the most exposure because of their ranking position, they'll naturally earn some links to that page. And because that page is consistently earning new links, that #1 page maintains their top ranking position, creating this vicious cycle. Now, the good thing with Google search ads is that you can buy your way to the top of the SERP to become a part of this vicious cycle. But in order for this to work, you need to have content on a topic that naturally generates links and has some search demand. Stats pages are a great example, which has worked for us and many others. So to find these topics, I'll go to Ahrefs Keywords Explorer and search for seeds that are relevant to my niche, like SEO, keyword research, link building, content marketing, and blogging. Next, I'll go to the matching terms report. Finally, I'll add some modifiers in the include box like stats, statistics, fact, and facts. I'll also hit the Any Word tab and then hit apply. Now from here, choose a query and hit the SERP button to see the top ranking pages.
That's it for this week's SEO updates, which brings me to my favorite part of the show. Please don't forget to like, subscribe while I get things ready here. And here's a word from our sponsor. Are you sick of your competitors outranking you in the search results? Your solution is Ahrefs Webmaster Tools, and it's free 99. This isn't one of your 14-day free trial offers. Instead, it's a super powerful tool that'll do a full website audit for you and keep working for you for free. It'll scan your site and prioritize precisely what you need to fix and improve for your search results. Visit ahrefs.com webmaster-tools for this free tool. Find the link below, and by checking our sponsors, you support this show. Now let's introduce our guest.
Darren has been working for the web for over 19 years and loves everything about local SEO. He leads the research initiatives such as the Local Search Ranking Factor Survey and the Local Search Ecosystem. He is a regular contributor, search marketing publications, and speaks at conferences around the globe. Please welcome the founder of Whitespark, Darren Spark.
Darren, my man, welcome to the show.
That was the greatest intro I've ever had. Thank you. You really got us dialed in, man.
All right. I'm going to go right into it. This is the first question I always ask my SEO professionals that come on here. Like, in 1 minute or less, how does Darren get ranking on page 1 of Google?
All right, well, page 1, I'm going to say top of the local pack. That's what I focus on. So let's see, I only got 1 minute. Did you start a timer?
Yep.
I'm going to say, number 1, get your categories right on Google. Your primary category is critical. Add the additional categories. Get tons of reviews on your Google profile. That has a massive impact. Proximity plays a huge role in local search. So the closer you are to the searcher, the better you're going to rank. If you're on the north side of the city, you're not going to rank for people searching on the south side of the city. It's just the way local search works. But then, beyond those things, like your categories, the reviews, there's one other signal that you're playing with fire, and that's your Google business name, the way you've named your business. If you have keywords in that business name, it has a massive impact on ranking. Definitely the shortcut to the top. But if you are spamming keywords in there and they're not your actual business name, you can get suspended. And then the rest of it comes down to the traditional SEO, which is your website, your content, the optimization of those pages, and links to your website. All right, did I do it?
Love it. Okay, Darren, I can actually hear you like in one ear, and it looks like the audience is having a little trouble hearing you too. Brenda Malone asks, is there something, maybe split screening? Is there a way you can
close the YouTube? I'll stick with this. How about now? Can you hear me fine? Actually, you know what? Give me this force audio. Give me 1 second. I'm going to hit the reconnect button.
Okay.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, in the settings of this app, I chose Force Stereo. I guess that was a bad idea. Should not have clicked that.
There we go. Brenda says perfect. Okay, you know what? Let me rewind this real quick. Take us way back into time. When did Darren still first get started in SEO?
Oh, way back. Let's see. 2000 and maybe 1998. Like if I think of the very first touch of SEO, it was definitely I was in university working in computing science, and I had built a website for my sister's company. She has a retail store, and she actually started selling products online. And I was like, hey, how do we get people from all over the world buying our products? And so I started investigating SEO and learning the basics of it. And I learned all about content, the key places to optimize on a web page, and link building. And I'll tell you a really cool story. In 1998, if you wanted to build links, it was so damn easy. I just found all of these teacher websites that talk about teachers, because it was a teaching supply store. And I just sent them an email and I said, hey, we've just launched this great teaching supply. We've got some resources. We've got great products. And I'm telling you, I had like a 90% close rate on those link requests. Everyone was like, this is great. Thanks. I'm going to update my links page. It was so easy back
Yeah, I remember back in those days, like people, even like random, like every website would have maybe a links page or a resources page, and even if that's on the personal site or whatever site, they just always had that, and it would be so easy to get one of those links on there. Great.
They were so happy. Oh, look, a great new resource for my links page.
Love it. Okay, so when you said you helped your sister get into it, I mean, what made you like more interested in it? Like what made you more passionate about SEO?
So in 2005, I decided to start my own freelance company building websites. So I built websites for local businesses, and people just knew that I did that. So I just started getting all this business. I thought, well, I'll just make this my living. And I decided to become a freelance web developer. And then the company continued to grow. And, once you start building websites for small local businesses, they want to know, hey, how come my business isn't ranking in Google? And so I really started having to get good at that and research that, and specifically local rankings. When the local packs came out, all my clients were like, hey, how do I get into there? And then in 2010, that's when we had launched our first software. So we built this thing called the Local Citation Finder. What it does is it crawls the web and finds all your citations. Then it crawls the web and finds the citations for like the top 10 competitors that you compete with, and finds all the listings that they have that you don't have and shows you the intersect. So we launched that software in 2010, and then that really put us on the map as a local search company and focusing on local SEO, and we've continued to evolve since then.
Yeah, I love that. I actually first heard of you around that time too. I think it was 2011 when I was actually looking for maybe EX alternatives, because it was actually like really expensive to use them. And I was like, oh, here's White Sparks. I was like, and that's how I was able to find you way back then. And until this day, are you actually still providing those services?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started our listing service. So once we had that software, then of course the next thing was like, hey, I found all these citations, but wow, it really sucks to go to all these directories and submit my business. Can you do it for me? So we launched our listing service where we would go and build citations for people. And so those two really went hand in hand, and we would sell our service to all the people using the software. And then we built a whole agency side. So we actually do full local SEO for small businesses. So we have that whole agency side of the business. We also have developed an incredible local rank tracking software. I think it's the best local rank tracker on the market. And so it'll track your rankings over time, show you your competitors, and analyze your listings, and show you all of your Google listings. And you get to see all this really great data that can help you improve your local SEO. And then we also have another software called Reputation Builder, which helps you with your review acquisition. So getting more reviews, and then taking the review data that's coming in and embedding it on your website and pushing it out to social, and collecting customer feedback and just understanding your reviews, giving you a central place to monitor all your reviews and manage all your reviews. So now we have basically those 5 elements of the business.
Love that. Susan says, best rank tracker ever. All right.
Oh, thanks, Susan.
So I want to take it back a little bit more. Let's rewind just a little bit back on how you actually learned SEO, and what were your actual resources?
Are you talking about me personally, how I learned it back in the day?
How'd you learn it?
Yeah, so the very first thing for me was Moz. I really latched on to Rand Fishkin's educational content and Moz, and I've been a huge fan of Moz from the earliest days. I remember going to like one of their very first, it was called the SEO Moz training, and so I went to that, and so I really he had built the beginner's guide to SEO, and that was probably my original Bible about SEO. But then it came to local search, and local search, my influencers at that time, the people that I really learned from, were David Mim, Mike Blumenthal. Those guys were publishing all about local SEO, what makes local SEO tick. Mike Blumenthal was publishing multiple posts per week about all the elements about local search. And he was also really active in the Google Places forums, called Google Places back then, forum, and answering questions. He was just really into it and real passionate about understanding Google's local results. And so I learned a lot from them. I actually remember one of the earliest things that really kind of guided me was a piece from, I was like a 5-article piece on how to rank in local, written by Dev Basu, who, I'm still friends with that guy, and he doesn't really publish on local search so much anymore. He's kind of shifted to a company that helps SaaS businesses. But, David Mim, Mike Blumenthal, definitely my major influencers and still my idols. Love those guys.
Love that. Okay, now let's get into what we want to talk, the topic of today. And it's all about, we're talking about local SEO and the local search. I want you to kind of like explain for those that kind of like the difference between, the importance of getting to local search and like the difference between what's the local search versus like a regular search, Google search.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so you can actually see this in search results. If you type in a key phrase like dentists Chicago, you're going to get a whole page of results. You get some ads. You get what's called a local pack. That's like you'll see the map and 3 results.
Okay.
If you click more places on that, you go to what's called the local finder, which is, has hundreds of local businesses. And then underneath the pack, you'll typically see the organic results. So blue links, you've got the title and the meta description, just a whole list of that. So that blue link stuff, the organic results, that's traditional SEO. And the way that you rank in there, I'm sure you've been talking about on your show since the very first episode, it's, content, links, optimizing, page speed, technical SEO, all of that stuff that's related to your website and your incoming links and prominence. That's how you rank in the organic results. And the work that you do in the organic results, so having your website and getting links to your website, also benefits you in the pack. So those are 2 key elements of ranking in the local pack. So local search is the same amount of work as organic search, plus you got to do all this other stuff. So now with local search, you also have to think about your Google business profile, previously called Google My Business. And so there's some optimization stuff to be done on the profile itself. Then you also have to think about reviews, getting reviews to your Google listing, getting reviews for your business on other sites, specifically sites that are important to your industry. So making sure that you're thinking about a review strategy and driving those reviews. That also plays a big role in how well you rank in the local results. And then there's another element which is called citations. And it's kind of like a link, but it's more like a mention of your business. And typically it's a mention of your name, address, and phone number, your business kind of core details, so that Google can say, oh yeah, this is a mention of your business, and it's like getting another link or another mention reference on the local side. So it's the organic search stuff plus those 3 extra things, which is your Google business profile, your reviews, and your business listings out there on the web.
Love that. Huge knowledge bomb there, guys. Be sure to rewind that if you didn't catch all that. But I want to get into now the survey you do, right? You find out the top, because you mentioned like 3 things already. But I mean, there's a bunch of ranking factors like there is, like, with organic search. So like you do a survey. Can you tell a bit more about the survey and help us, like, maybe share maybe the top 5 ranking factors from your survey?
Yeah, totally. So the local search ranking factors survey was originally developed by one of my previously mentioned idols, David Mim. And so David Mim started this survey way back in 2008. And the concept of the survey is he's asking a series of questions to the notable local search experts that are out there. These are people that are publishing, they're researching, they're studying what is impacting local results. How do they get their clients ranking? What's working? What's not working? What seems to have the biggest impact? And so the survey has a series of questions. And one of the most significant questions is, what are the factors that are most important for ranking in local results? And what is the priority of that? And so what ends up happening is you ask 40 local search experts to pick their top 20 factors from a list of 120 factors, and then sort them by priority. So like this is the number 1. And so what ends up happening is like 7 of the contributors said this is number 1. Okay. 7 of the contributors said this is number 2. Yeah? And so like when you amalgamate that and you score them all, what ends up happening is that the most significant factors rise to the top, and you get to see what is really driving local search. And so you can find the survey results on our website at whitespark.ca under resources. It's the local search ranking factors. And at the very top of our list from the 2021 local search ranking factor survey was the primary category that you set on your Google listing. And this, of course, makes all the sense. If you are a dentist and your primary category is electrician, you're not going to rank for dentist. So it makes all the sense. So obvious, right? It's like Google uses that primary category to rank your business. The next one is keywords in the Google business title. So whatever you put in the title there. I did mention that earlier. It's a real kind of landmine. If you put keywords in there and that's not your actual business name, you can get your listing suspended. So the strategy, the takeaway is to actually rebrand your business. And so we see businesses do that all the time. They change their logo, they update the mention of all across their website, they re-register with the Secretary of State under a new business name that has those keywords, and they see like a 30 position ranking jump.
Wow.
So it really has a positive impact. I've done a number of YouTube videos on the impact of keywords in the business name. That's number 2. Number 3 is one that you have no control over. In local search, rankings are very much dependent on how close your business is to the person searching. So if I am sitting at my desk in my house on the west side of the city and I search for dentists, I search for lawyers, I search for plumbers, I search for coffee shops, whatever the local search is, I'm going to get results that are roughly within 5 to 10 miles from me. If that business that's on the other side of the city, forget it. You're never going to rank for me. So in local search, you generally only rank in roughly a 10-mile radius if you're in a competitive market. If you're a taxidermist and there's only one other taxidermist in town, then you're probably going to rank all over the city. But for a dentist, coffee shops, for most small businesses that have a decent amount of local competition, your radius of ranking is really only 10 miles roughly. 10 miles is just complete. The number is not scientific. It's just like a rough idea of what your ranking radius is. So that's proximity. That's number 3. It's huge signal. The 4th one is having an address in the city of search, which is very interesting because if I'm located on the very outskirts of the city, like I'm right on the edge, like the border is just like 2 streets down, a business that's in the next town over probably isn't going to rank for me because they know that I'm located in this city. And so there's almost like this physical barrier to break through. And so we do see that sometimes too. So being outside the city. And then the 5th one, if I'm only going to 5, is additional categories. It's like you've set your primary category as, let's say, lawyer. Or let's say you've set your primary category as criminal defense lawyer. The more specific you can be for that primary, the better. But then you also do bankruptcy law and you do other forms of law. Make sure those other forms are in there. It's like casting a wider net. It's like if your business does multiple things and you only have a page on your website about one thing, then you're only going to rank for that one thing. And it's the same kind of concept with additional categories. Add those additional categories. It's like telling Google, yeah, we also do this, so we can also rank for that. And so that is another really valuable ranking factor. Those additional categories, they play a pretty significant role. All right, that's 5.
Love it. That's the top 5 right there. So on number 2, you actually mentioned like people are actually changing their names. I mean, are you like one of the agencies that are telling to change their dentist near me? I've been seeing a lot of those pop up.
Yeah. I don't love the near me because I actually think it's mostly useless because I don't think a lot of people are actually typing that. But it is my favorite example. I put that in one of my recent YouTube videos where it's like, best Denver dentist near me. Some people will go ahead and change their name. And it's funny to laugh at it. It's unnecessary, but getting dentist in your name, like let's say your business is called Southern Smiles. Southern Smiles, oh man, like no one goes to Google and says, I'm looking for a dentist, so I'm going to type smiles. No, I type in dentist. So getting the word dentist in your business name really does have a positive impact. And so, rebranding, and if you're Southern Smiles, you might want to rebrand to city name Dentist Smiles. You got to get those words in. They really do have a positive impact. And if you look at my YouTube videos, you'll see it's just like rank tracking goes like this. The keywords get in there, and it's honestly an overnight thing. In organic SEO, this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
In local SEO, the changes you make to your Google business profile have an almost immediate impact. It's like, so the rank tracking here, I changed the file name, I changed the business name. The next day, boom, like 20 position ranking jump. I've seen 40, 80 position ranking jumps overnight.
Wow. All right. I mean, that's some great information there. We have Andy Simpson looking good, Darren.
Hey, thanks, Andy. I'm sure you're looking good too. I can't see you.
All right. So say I'm a new business and I want to get started. You gave us those top factors. I mean, what are the first things should I do? Should I go ahead and get a website built, or should I just go ahead and get my Google business profile up first? I mean, what are, like, let's say that the top steps in making sure you can get your business online quickly for local search?
Yeah, I love that question. So I actually tested this order of operations. Where do you start? What do you do first? And so I actually did a really cool case study where I took a business that had zero online presence, nothing. Okay. Business has been around for a few years. They didn't even have a single listing on a directory. And so where do you start? With the Google listing, hands down. When you put that Google listing up, you can rank the next day. And actually this was true. The very next day, they're ranking in the local pack. But the reality is that you only rank in a very tight radius. It's like, oh, you're looking for a plumber. This plumber just opened the listing across the street from you yesterday. Hey, there's one right across the street. Go check it out. And so Google will you can be ranking immediately. So definitely, and it only takes whatever, like half an hour to set up a Google listing. It's not a big process, right? So get that done immediately, and you can start ranking immediately. Then I would start focusing on reviews, getting those reviews coming in. Make sure you have a review strategy where you're asking all of your customers for a review. You're going to go back to all your past customers and ask them for a review. You can use a software system for that where you just load them up and the system goes through them automatically. And then work on the website. You definitely need a website. You can see businesses ranking all the time that don't have websites, but a website is a very key piece. It's like the primary source of information for your business after the Google listing. Google really depends on your website to learn more about, like, what are the services you offer, what makes you special, what kind of products do you carry, all that kind of stuff, frequently asked questions. So they really lean on your website for pulling all that data. So getting that website is super important. And then that final rankings push after the fact, website, you can always be working on new content and keep continuing to update it. But then link building would probably be the last thing that I start worrying about. And of course, you need to lay a foundation of citations too. So you might want to use a service like Whitespark to build out business listings on all the directories, or you could actually even do it yourself. If you've got the time, you're a small business, you can look up a list of top citation sources. We have a list on our website, and you can definitely go directory by directory and just add your business. That'll help build up your prominence for the local side of things and help you rank better.
And can you, for those, hold on, let me drop a knowledge bomb for you for that one. All right, so I want to make sure. Oh, for those that don't know what citations are, can you explain a bit, and why, like, what is important? What's the kind of signals it's giving to Google?
Sure, yeah. So the easiest way to explain it is, like, in 2008, when Google was like, okay, we're going to make this local thing. We're going to have a local pack. It's going to show you local businesses that are in your area. So many local businesses don't even have websites, especially in 2008. They didn't have websites. So Google could not use their traditional way of ranking websites through the link graph. These are businesses that didn't have websites. They didn't have links to the website. So Google is like, okay, how do we rank these businesses? That's where business directories came in. Most of these local businesses will be listed on Yellow Pages, Yelp, all these sites, right? So that's really what a citation is. It's a mention of your name, address, and phone number. Traditionally, that is on business directories. So, my chicagobusinesslist.com, yellowpages.com, MapQuest, superpages.com. All of these directories is what Google was leveraging to understand how to rank businesses. And that is a foundational piece of local SEO that is still in place today. And it's not a massive rankings booster, but it is a foundational thing that you have to do to sort of say, yeah, we're a real business. We actually exist. We're on all the places you expect to find us. And so that business entity, name, address, and phone number exists as your Google business profile entity. And then it matches those mentions of that same entity out on the web. And so that ideally is or typically is the business directories, but even better is when you get a mention on local blogs. Like there's a real famous bakery in our neighborhood called the Duchess Bake Shop, and they probably have 100 citations on local blogs. Those are even better than the directories. It's like local food bloggers will write about them, and then they mention their name, address, phone number, and Google picks up on that and it attributes to their local rankings.
Love that. Okay, guys, if you guys have any questions, please ask them in live chat. I'm coming down to my last few questions here, but so I know you do a lot of tests and you have case studies and stuff like that. So looking forward, I mean, you still have, it's 2022. Are you going to come out with a new ranking factor survey coming up for this year, or is this when should we expect that?
So I'm working on the latest edition of local search ranking factors, and I'm deliberately not publishing it in 2022. Because I've been on this cadence lately where I publish the damn thing in November or December, and then it rolls over to the next year, and it's like, oh, well, now the whole thing seems outdated because it's the 2021 local search ranking factor.
Got it.
I'm skipping 2022, and I'm working on it now. I want to get all the results queued up, but I'll be hitting publish in early January so that it stands the whole year. So early January 2023, I will release the 2023 local search ranking factors. You talked about tests and that kind of stuff. There's a few other tests I have in the works, which I think are interesting to people. One of the most interesting up and coming local search ranking factors is photos. A lot of people haven't really caught on to the benefit of having photos on your listing. So you add photos to your Google listing, and there's this amazing thing called Google Vision AI. So if you search right now, type in Google Vision AI, try it. You can actually drop your photos into the Vision AI, and Google parses the photo and it tells you what that's a picture of. Is that a picture of a dentist? Is that a picture of a plumber at work? Google can pick up on these things of what that picture is. And so imagine this, if you have a Google listing with no photos on it, Google doesn't have a lot of context about what your business is about. Now you've gone and you've uploaded 30, 40, 50 photos that are all related to your business. Plumber at work, toilets, sinks, all like plumbing pipes, all that stuff. That's almost like keyword stuffing your Google listing through photos. So this is something that is very interesting. I'm testing it right now. I'm adding a bunch of photos. And I actually have multiple phases of my test where I want to test photos with no text in the photos. Just to see, is Google picking up on those and what impact does that have on ranking? And then I'm going to do a whole nother series where it's a bunch of like, let's say it was plumbers holding signs that say the actual words I want to rank for. So actually getting the text into the photos and then measuring the impact of that. And so I'm working on that as a test. I really do think we're going to see photos increase in how they land on the local search ranking factors as an up and coming factor that more people are thinking about and investing time in on their Google listings.
Love that. So you also talk about reviews. I'm curious, like, do you think it would be more beneficial if you got reviews from like those local experts? Some reviewers on Google have this local
guides.
Yeah, local guides. Those guys.
Yeah, and you can be local guides at different levels, right? You make like a level 6 local guide or a level 10 local guide. Oh wow, local guide level 10. And so the way to become a high level local guide is typically photos, like uploading photos of other businesses. Like you get all these views, you get lots of points. And so it's a real point system and it's super easy to game. So if you cared about becoming a high ranking local guide, it's very easy to game that and become a high ranking local guide. And because it's so easy to game, local search experts generally don't think that Google cares. They don't care if that review came from Joe Blow or a level 10 local guide who has 10 billion local guide points. They don't care. And we don't believe that there is a greater impact in a review from them versus any typical Google user. The one thing in reviews that absolutely will have a very positive impact is getting keywords in your reviews. So the tip I always suggest when you ask for a review, so it's like, hey, would you mind leaving us a review on Google? Person says yes. You give them a card that has a QR code or a short link to make it really easy. Great, I make it easy for you. Here you go. And then you say, it would really help us if you mentioned the service that we had for you or the products that you bought. That way, when they write their review, they think, oh yeah, I had my oil, I got an oil change. So now they've got the word oil change in their review. And so you got 50 people saying oil changes in their reviews. Google does latch on to that. And now that helps your business rank better for oil changes than maybe another business where they didn't employ that strategy.
Love that. Okay, we got a question here from the audience. Hi, Darren. What links do you recommend for local SEO besides citations?
Yeah, it's a great question. The average small business has a pretty dang hard time getting links. Yeah. So how are you going to get links to your plumbing website, to your dentist website? No one cares. Nobody's going to link to your website. So there's obviously what traditional SEOs focus on, which is really next level content. And then you get that content in front of the right audience and they might link to you, right? That's so hard to do for the typical local business. It's just so much effort. I really like sponsorship links for local. Okay. So any local business can sponsor local organizations, local homeless shelter, women's shelter, local pet, organizations, local little league sports teams, local theater groups. There's so many really good organizations in any city that you can sponsor. And so you're basically trading your sponsorship cash for a link on their website. And not only they're good links. We're talking about like the local, homeless shelter probably has pretty decent domain authority. And so when you get mentioned, your business is mentioned, you get that link from them. It's a pretty valuable link. And it also conveys a local authority. So it's, Google knows that this is an organization in that city. So there's the local relevancy to the link. And then there's also, it's just a feel-good link. It's just a great link. That's the kind of link that can really, you feel good about putting your money into that organization. So you can support the organizations you care about. You can get great links to your website. And you feel good about it. So I like sponsorship links a lot.
Love that. We got one more question I can take here from the audience. Hey, Darren, I've seen folks talking about a high number of GBP suspensions. Have you seen this, and what would you recommend?
I have seen this. This is called a sweep. So every once in a while, Google takes a sweep and it's just like anything. It's like they've tweaked the algorithm a little bit and then they run it across the whole database and they're like, yep, these businesses are looking sketchy. Boom, massive amounts of suspensions. And I've also seen a lot of people saying that listings are touchy right now. If you edit some of the primary fields, name, address, phone number, website, categories, if you edit any of those key fields, it kind of triggers a check of the listing, goes into pending, and then the algorithm is very touchy right now where that could trigger a suspension. So I have seen that. A lot of talk about it right now. Interestingly, there is a lot of talk about it, but we manage over 200 listings at Whitespark through our SEO agency side, and we do edits nonstop. We're always editing listings, and we haven't seen a single one. So I'm trying to gauge whether or not this problem is as massive as it seems, or if it's just, it's a slight increase in the number of suspensions. And getting suspended super sucks. So what you have to do is you have to file a reinstatement request, and it can take up to 2 weeks, but now I'm hearing 3-4 weeks. And the reason I think we're seeing a higher, it's taking longer is because they did do that sweep. There's way more suspensions. There's way more reinstatement requests, and their support is totally understaffed. So I don't have any advice for you. If there's an edit to one of those 5 primary fields that I mentioned, you might want to hold off for a bit. But I can also tell you that we're not seeing any problems within our agency side. So I don't know.
All right.
It happened. Yep.
Hope that helps you out there, Andy. Okay, I want to go ahead and ask my last question that I ask my SEO professionals to come on here is if someone wants to get into the SEO game, whether it's local SEO, technical SEO, what would your advice be for them?
They want to get into the SEO game. Well, my advice would be to follow the key education sources. Certainly you want to read the local search ranking factors. That's an absolute starting point for how to understand what impacts local rankings, and then get a test client. Like, I don't know, do it for free. Pick your uncle's business or something like that. Just start working on it. Make sure you're using a local rank tracker so you can measure the impact. That's really like, if you're going to do all this stuff, why don't you see what impact it had? And so it's really valuable to see, okay, we changed the category. How did that impact the local rankings? Okay, we got like 10 new reviews. How did that impact the ranking? So being able to monitor things and track, you have to measure the impact of the work that you're doing. And that'll really help you learn what works and what doesn't work. And then follow other resources. Follow the top minds in local search. I'm going to focus on local since that's what I do. So I would say make sure you follow people like Joy Hawkins. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow people like David Mim, Mike Blumenthal. There's so many of them. Ben Fisher's a great guy to follow. He's really dialed in. So there's just follow the typical local search people on Twitter and on LinkedIn. And there's just an endless supply of information. Oh, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel at Whitespark. We have a really great YouTube channel that's going to absolutely teach you a lot of the fundamentals. And yeah, definitely always watch the SEO video show every Friday, and you're going to learn a ton there too.
All right. Susan says here, local has the best people in the industry. Just saying. Okay, Darren. So I want to, for this episode to be complete for you, is there any last words, or like how can people get a hold of you? Please, the stage is yours.
Yeah, sure. So definitely follow me on Twitter. I'm at Darren Shaw _. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn as well these days. So I'm Darren Shaw Whitespark, I think, all together on LinkedIn, or you can just look me up on LinkedIn. You can check out our website, whitespark.ca. If you have any questions for me specifically about our services or anything, I'm happy to answer via email. You can email me at darren@whitespark.ca. But yeah, that's how you can find me and follow what I'm up to. And of course, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's WhitesparkCA. So it's youtube.com/WhitesparkCA.
Love that. And I lied. I usually ask this question, even this last question. Do you play a special instrument or can sing? And would you like to perform for us to close us off?
Oh yeah, I dream of playing the piano one day. I would love to be able to play the piano, but no, I do not play any instruments. And holy cow, you do not want to hear me sing. I'm the absolute worst singer. Like, no one's actually heard worse singing. So anytime I actually try to sing, people are like, wow, you actually are the worst singer I've ever heard.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to subject your listeners to that.
No. All right. So can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. All right, guys. That concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, cause the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!